Hey guys, a quick note before I actually begin this video is that this video was the original take from my first video where I gave all the islands a monolith. However, in this one, I made the very stupid decision of kinda, turning on all the world laws that randomized the game to hell. And this video just became an absolute fever dream, but I thought it was just so interesting, I'm still gonna upload it anyway. But it's kind of like the old saying goes, it's not about the journey, it's about the destination. Wait, I think it's the other... Never mind, just enjoy the video. One cool thing about WorldBox is that it has a lot of different biomes. 22 to be specific, including 2 kind of secret ones. And these biomes aren't just cool because they look different, but they also allow different kinds of creatures to spawn in, as you can see right here on the bottom. Meaning that each individual biome is super unique and has their own little thing going on. So today we are going to be pitting all 24 total biomes against each other, but with a little twist. These normal creatures that can spawn into each biome are very unique and cool. However, with the help of a monolith, they can turn into sapient human-like creatures that can form their very own kingdoms and are more than capable of trying to take over the world. And we're going to let them develop for 500 years and then make them eat the crap out of each other. To also make things a little more interesting, I have turned on a couple of world laws, including Mutant Box, Gene Spaghetti, and Glitch Noosphere, which means that pretty much every single trait that these creatures get is going to be completely randomized, meaning that quite literally anybody could win. Let's get right into it. All of the monoliths have already been placed but have not revealed themselves yet, so if we click unpause, they all pop up just like that, and we have officially begun. The mobs do begin spawning relatively slowly, that's why we're going to give them a bunch of time to develop, but the first mobs to have spawned in seem to be unicorns. But it already seems like we have some sapient people too. Yes, over here in the paradox biome, we can see that some scorpions spawned in who were already changed into their humanoid form. It won't be long until these islands begin forming their very own kingdoms. And immediately at once, 3 kingdoms do form: a grasshopper kingdom up in the normal grass biome, a butterfly kingdom over here in the enchanted forest, and a rat kingdom in the pollution biome, which is one of the secret biomes because you can't actually manually spawn in this biome. There are a couple ways, but the way that I chose is nuclear waste. Yeah, I just kind of nuked them for a bit until they all turned green. And the other secret biome is just a bunch of sand, which you may think doesn't really count as a biome, and you may be right. However, these are how crabs spawn in, and if you know like any of my videos, crabs are very powerful. But as time moves on even more, the grasshoppers are dead. What the hell happened? They blew up. Oh God, don't tell me they had the death bomb trait. But for now, we still don't really have a lot going on. And like I said, the war will begin at year 500. So we are going to simulate halfway to the war to year 250 to see how everybody's doing then. So let's just hope that no more kingdoms explode. And here we are at year 250. You probably noticed that I turned on the Age of Wonders for that time lapse just so more creatures and stuff would spawn in. And I was kind of a little iffy on if this idea would work at first, but looking at population now being 2,700, I think it's safe to say our monoliths have come in clutch, considering every single island is populated now. Interestingly enough, since some of these islands actually developed before other ones, kingdoms down here like this Lemon Kingdom of Luz have actually been able to colonize multiple islands. I know that's not entirely fair, but what are you gonna do about it? Speaking of that, you're going to see a penguin kingdom here too, who has not only colonized another island, but has almost completely changed the biome of it too. I'm not even completely sure how they were able to do this, but I guess that's another possibility, including this butterfly kingdom, which seems to have maybe begun being taken over by the jungle biome. I'm not sure, but interestingly enough, the butterfly creatures actually have a character model. However, I'm not sure exactly what this is supposed to be. I like how he's still like wearing armor and stuff despite having 1 HP no matter what. But even though our world is kind of chaotic, it still looks like a lot of the biomes have kept to their original form, including the pollution biome, which is actually surprisingly thriving, and the sand biome, which I told you it really was a biome, as a prosperous crab kingdom has opened up here. Another cool thing I want to point out here is since every creature is in such close proximity to the monolith, if we go into any kingdom and scroll scroll down to their subspecies, you will see that there is a ton of different subspecies for literally every single creature, because every time the monolith activates, it just adds another branch of evolution to every creature, which is really cool. But with that said, all of these islands are looking pretty crazy after all. That may be partially on me for, you know, making everything random. But anyway, I guess it's about time we send the next 250 years to year 500 and see what the world looks like. And I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 500. We may have made some slight itsy bitsy little mistakes, like this island up here, you know, is kind of just gone, and a few others are in the process of disappearing too. Surely this could have nothing to do with some of the world laws I said earlier, right? But as we prepare for the giant wars, as we zoom into these islands, a lot of them are still kind of normal, but one thing I've noticed is that the pollution biome has taken over a lot of them. And I believe this is actually from a subspecies trait that slowly turns different biomes into pollution. But one last thing I want to point out is that we already have 4,500 total deaths, which is funny because I never even turned on old age or hunger. So how is this even possible so soon? Okay, a lot of them have been eaten. A lot of them are from explosions. I actually probably should have expected this. Surprisingly few from water and drowning, and instead it's from gravity. What does this even mean? From my understanding, they're all on pretty low soil. So did they jump off the top of the monolith? I'm not really sure what's going on here, but nonetheless, it is time to begin this war. We're gonna take it off the Age of Wonders and put it straight into the Age of Chaos. Grab the spite tool and rain it down everywhere. The favorite is probably this Lemon Kingdom of Luz. But obviously, since, you know, some species are just simply better than the others, and every island essentially has a different species because of their own biome, literally anything could happen here. So with the war declared, we're going to click unpause, and as this war begins, kingdoms have already begun dropping like flies. Explosions go off everywhere. It appears that the death bomb trait has made a resurgence and has ruined many a video. Entire islands already gone. But wait, I thought it was just bombs, but it's not. It's religion trait. And yeah, partially because of the monolith, there's a ton of different religions too. One of the religions that may be causing all of this destruction is one simply just called Elite, that as we can see has been taken up by a number of different creatures. Holy crap, so many different creatures have this, and the worst part about that is that they can launch meteors. So as we can see now, we can see entire islands just wasting away and exploding. Still though, our kingdom in first appears to be the Penguin Kingdom, along with the crabs, who seem to be doing pretty alright for themselves. This by no means is a very conventional war, I have to say. However, the Penguin Kingdom still does take another island next to them, so they have expanded their rule even more. Because another thing, I never even turned on angry villagers, so these guys should supposedly be only attacking soldiers, but I think that's not the case right now. These guys are really just straight up evil. Not even 10 years have passed yet, and we've already lost well over half of our kingdoms. Most populous kingdom on the map literally has barely over 50 people right now, with deaths from conflict and explosions over doubling already. We can see even more religion traits here, like the lightning clouds absolutely decimating a ton of islands too. But the only thing that really matters here isn't necessarily which kingdom wins, but it's more of the species of the kingdom that wins here, as in just a few minutes multiple cat kingdoms have appeared seemingly out of nowhere. But it seems like the bombs at this point are mostly over. Never mind. But another emerging species has been the crabs, who have been relatively safe on their home island with the monolith and now have expanded northward. I also like this cat kingdom's motto too, which says Chad is fine. Looking at their leader named Meow Meow, that does not look like a cat at all. Now I can see why their motto is what it is, but what the hell is this thing? I don't think you can consider that a cat. Oh, it's because they have the rock mutation. Thanks, Monolith. I'm really glad you gave that one to me. You know, another cool thing kind of about these islands is because since they're relatively small, every time the monolith activates, it hits all of them at once and then sends them into the water. just like that. Every single time the monolith does that, it completely changes the subspecies and genes of the animals it affects. And as I'm speeding up time heavily here, I'm kind of steadily noticing that instead of like a conventional normal war, like where you send troops into battles to try to take islands, these kingdoms are kind of just randomly and sporadically just killing everything they see anywhere it is. So because of that, soldiers aren't really actually that useful, especially considering if any of these guys want to, they can literally just blow up an entire island. Over 11,000 total creatures have died here, and the crab kingdom on the bottom of the map just gets obliterated. Honestly, I still can't tell who's winning, because believe it or not, now the kingdom winning is this random rat kingdom down here. And you know, at this point, just for fun, since things are taking a while and like just looking at like one of these islands, I genuinely have no clue what the hell is going on here. I'm going to sneakily turn angry villagers back on, just to see what happens in these kingdoms and how quickly some of them immediately get destroyed now. We even have some kingdoms up here, which may be in disguise a bit. Yeah, you're not fooling me one bit. You're not a cat at all. And as we approach 300 years since the war began, I still genuinely have no clue what's going on here. Islands are still getting blown up. I mean, look at this one over here. This is in slow motion right now. Look at how much is going on. And they've been doing this for like the past 200 years. Things do appear to be kind of wrapping up here, as a lot of kingdoms are actually beginning to fall for once. Like the kingdom of Meow over here, which honestly that doesn't even help, because like literally half the kingdoms alive are still named Meow. But as they continue fighting endlessly, another issue I've just realized is it says there are 20 kingdoms in the world. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, but counting, there are not 20 kingdoms in the world. And as it's now gone past 500 years now, and there are still so many kingdoms, and new kingdoms are being founded every day. Like, how is this even possible? But finally, after over 600 years, the final ice golem kingdom goes in and takes the crab kingdom right there with just 30 people. And also, they're not even cats. As a matter of fact, even looking through their subspecies, they don't even have a single cat in there. It's just a weird melting pot of like every other species. This has been an absolute nightmare, crazy fever dream of a video. But finally, the ice golems win. Oh crap, never mind, a new kingdom formed. Oh wow, they surrendered and gave up. Yay, the ice golems win again. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with this. I think this video got a little too much out of hand, but you know, you gotta admit, it was still pretty funny. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video, clearly I did something somehow to entertain you, so I'd appreciate it if you would click like and subscribe, and also join my Discord too, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.